Symbology of the Bible, Volume 1. Fish. As we have seen, water is symbolic of people and nations. By extension, fish can be shown to be symbolic of people who live in the water. Matthew 4 verse 18, and Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. 19, and he saith unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Since these two became fishers of men, the object of their fishing activities, men are fish. 2 Chronicles 33 verse 13, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him, and heard his supplication, and brought him again to Jerusalem, into his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord, he was God. 14, now after this he built a wall, without the city of David, on the west side of Gin, in the valley, even to the entering in at the fish gate, and compassed about Ophel, and raised it up a very great height, and put captains of war in all the fenced cities of Judah. 15, and he took away the strange gods and the idol out of the house of the Lord, and all the altars that he had built in the mount of the house of the Lord, and in Jerusalem, and cast them out of the city. 16, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, and sacrificed thereon peace offerings and thank offerings, and commanded Judah to serve the Lord God of Israel. Manasseh was a piece of iron, and then became a fish, and swam. He even built a fish gate into the wall. To the left is a map of the wall, and both the fish gate and the sheep gate are on the north side. That is where Yahweh's throne is. The fish and sheep are both symbolic of people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and the fish of all the nations of the world. Note that Judah has already been reestablished. Here is what happens to fish who live in bitter water. Exodus 7 verse 17, Thus saith the Lord, In this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. 18, And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. Yahweh put the Egyptians through the winepress with the hail and locusts and other plagues. They began to loathe the bitter water their priests were providing, and perhaps some of their fish became alive. This is even prophetic of the events when this eon will near completion. Moreover, Isaiah 50 verse 2, Wherefore, when I came, was there no man? When I called, was there none to answer? Is my hand shortened at all, that it cannot redeem? Or have I no power to deliver? Behold, at my rebuke I dry up the sea, I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stinketh, because there is no water, and dieth for thirst. This is what happens when you refuse the living water. It is what happened at the beginning of this eon, and will happen near the end. Only those who enter the fish gate will not thirst. It also happened when the flock was scattered. They went out into the sea. However, as Joshua recruited 2 fish to be fishermen, there will be many more. Jeremiah 16:15, But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. 16, Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. The action in verse 15 hasn't been completed yet. It should be translated as, will bring. The flock was taken captive and brought to Assyria north of Samaria, and from there dispersed on a northern route. Yahweh will also bring all kinds of other fish from the mountains. Ezekiel 47 verse 9, And it shall come to pass, that everything that liveth, which moveth, whithersoever the river shall come, shall live. And there shall be a very great multitude of fish, because these waters shall come thither, for they shall be healed, and everything shall live, whither the river cometh. 10. And it shall come to pass, that the fishers shall stand upon it, from Engedi even unto Eneglaim. They shall be a place to spread forth nets. Their fish shall be according to their kinds, as the fish of the great sea, exceeding many. These are all people from the great sea, the world, and all who will be willing to be scooped up in the nets will be brought in through the fish gate. Before this, however, there will be a falling away, an apostasy. Isaiah 19 verse 8, The fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. 9. Moreover, they that work in fine flax, and they that weave networks, shall be confounded. 10. And they shall be broken in the purposes thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish. So, if fish are symbolic, can we say anything about a cooked fish? Luke 24 verse 42, And they gave him a piece of a broiled fish and of an honeycomb. 43, And he took it and did eat before them. The Greek for gave him a piece of broiled fish and honeycomb, and he took it and did eat is tabulated below.
Give over, surrender. Deliver. Self her, itself one the same. A division a share behalf. Cooked roasted, root, steep. A fish, root, uncertain affinity. And also even so then too. Off, away from, place, time. B. Honeycomb, root, honey. Cell of honey, the comb, the primary root is wax.
The honeycomb and bee are separate articles. However, a cooked fish is one that has been prepared. Yahshua accepted this one as prophesied, because they were prepared. This is the reason for the verses that follow the above in Luke. Luke 24 verse 44, And he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms, concerning me. 45. Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the Scriptures. The disciples still hadn't understood that Yahshua was the one with authority to receive fish through the door, the fish gate. It is important to note that the Scriptures in this context are the books of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament. Be like those who had their sight healed and read the Word. The New Covenant does not dismiss the Old Testament. Yahshua taught from it. Mark 6 verse 34 through 44, And Jesus, when he came out, saw many people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. 35. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him, and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. 36. Send them away, that they may go into the country round about, and into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. 37. He answered and said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, Shall we go, and buy 200 pennyworth of bread, and give them to eat? 38. He saith unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say, 5 and 2 fishes. 39. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. 40. And they sat down in ranks, by hundreds and by 50s. 41. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven, and blessed, and brake the loaves, and gave them to his disciples to set before them. And the 2 fishes divided he among them all. 42. And they did all eat, and were filled. 43. And they took up 12 baskets, full of the fragments and of the fishes. 44. And they that did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men. These events occurred when a multitude of people had gathered, where Yahshua was teaching. The book is the bread of life. Yahshua had to recruit 2 fish to go out with the 5 copies they had, to feed the people, which means to teach them. In fact, the verses following in Mark regarding the walking on water make the connection. Mark 6 verse 51, And he went up unto them into the ship, and the wind ceased. And they were sore amazed in themselves beyond measure, and wondered. 52. For they considered not the miracle of the loaves, for their heart was hardened. The translators inserted miracle, here based on their understanding. It does not appear in the Greek. The rough waters are the people. The ship is a platform. When the people saw it was Yahshua, who stepped up to teach, the masses calmed down.